chasing down them 300 boilers. The vans are getting wrecked. Boilers breaking everywhere. There, we do need to start being, at this time here, more selective on the jobs. It's Friday again. We've not done much filming today because everyone's been rammed. As you can see, all vans are in. I've changed my schedule as well, so I'm not going to the gym in mornings early now. I'm coming straight here for 5, so I'm ready for the lads when they're coming in. Scott here, another 4,000 going in. Chasing down them 300 boilers. Smash 300 this year, won't we, pal? Yeah. Got Scott installing, Luke's installing, Dan's on 10 decorative rads. How are we doing, pal? Have you got a big day on?
Not too bad.
Not.
From Norwich last night, so.
Do some mileage, you boys, don't you? Yeah. Yeah. Boilers breaking everywhere, so breakdowns, installations. It's good, pal. See you later, mate. Just waiting for Luke to come in because we've got a couple of extra rads to stick on his job. It's been miles better getting in early though, so got a couple of hours where no distraction, I can get the work done. But I need to make sure I don't start falling off the training because my head will start going then. The girls let me know as well I think it was Monday or Tuesday this week, we had 125 calls into the business in a single day, which is like massive for us. It's not started, I mean it's cold, but we've not had any of the freezing, frozen corners and stuff like that. That's not started yet. But just high demand of surveys, breakdowns, and all the lads seem to be getting it done. But what's happened now is we've got Warren flat out all day doing jobs, so he's not doing much in the office. Dan, he's out on the tools, and me, myself, I'm surveying, I'm doing reactive stuff as well, breakdowns. So that's my full day from like 8 o'clock till 6 is taken up now. So you've got to still make that time for just answering questions, surveys, issues. Just got to keep on top of the stuff in the office. So that's why I've just needed to stop the training, get in here early, so you've got a head start on the day. So the day is not attacking you before it starts. It's got to be the other way around. Proactive mindset as opposed to reactive. And just making sure that the boilers that are coming in, they're getting booked in as soon as possible, because what can start happening, you can even win the boilers, win the jobs, ready to go, but if you can't deliver, Ralph, get out to that bag. Ralph rooting through the bin. If we can't get to that job soon enough, and let's say the customers have got no heating or hot water, you're going to lose that job. To a point where I'm going out to surveys, I put it on my Instagram yesterday, I'm going out to a survey and actually fixing the boilers, fit a pump head yesterday to get a boiler up and running because I've not got the time to fit it. So I'll certainly win that job from just going that extra mile, fix the boiler, get him up and running, and then we'll look to replace the boiler in a couple of weeks or even into the start of next year. So that's what we're doing. I'm going to crack on now with, what have I got now? A couple of small jobs to sort out in the morning, and then I'm going to wire up the controls of Scott's job this afternoon. Hey Luke, hey Pat, have you headed straight to the job? I'll give you a heads up on this job. So it's straightforward. It's the boiler's straightforward, but the customer has asked if we can do 2 more radiators while you're there. The boiler itself, it's just a Green Star 28R Junior, straightforward job. But the PRV at the minute discharges into like a little pantry. Yeah, but you can just drill it out the side of the wall to follow the conner. Yeah, spot on. All right, pal. What do you want to do with Theo now then? Take him.
He's going to come to me, just
start.
Get me set up, get trained, then I'll set him over to Charlie. You just tie in with me where you are.
Yeah.
Or I could wait until you turn up, then send him.
Yeah.
Just to go in afternoon.
Ah, right. Yeah.
There's 2 of us.
Yeah, fine.
Shit and stuff. Should we do that?
Yeah, fine. You'll get loads done together then. Here, take this coat of yours. Just, it's a rough coat. Look at him now. Looks miles better. Look at that. Beautiful. All right, pal. I'll see you in a bit. Cheers, Scott. I'll show you something else I'm doing that I'm not happy about. So what starts happening now, especially when we get busy, the lads, and this is another reason why I'm coming in early in the morning, it is because we're busy, but there's things now we're a bit bigger, that I need to be better on from a leadership point of view and getting on top of the lads. Because I've worked in Scott's van and Dan's van. And Dan's van, this has all been taken out of Dan's. Completely derailed this. He's knackered the racking because he's put so much weight in it. So what I've done, and I've been working in Dan's van because my van has been in the garage to have a wet belt fitted. So while that's been done, what we've needed to do is I've gone to the jobs with Dan. Dan's cracked on, and then I've taken his van and gone and done my surveys. But in doing so, I'm checking the vans then and seeing what they're like. And as much as the lads are brilliant and they're trying to get the jobs done, the vans are getting wrecked, and we cannot afford for the vans to get smashed to bits. This racking, so here's some brand new racking. We're spending 12, 13, I don't know how much it is, 1,200 quid on racking. The van's only 2 years. Lads have put so much weight in that it's completely wrecked it. It's not just the vans being messy, it's the bits of brick, sand, grit, screws that are all getting caught in the tracks, the sliding doors of the vans and the back of the vans. So all the seals are getting knackered. The vans aren't shutting, the doors aren't shutting as they should do. Now I understand that the lads are busy, but that's no excuse. We need to be better. The habits need to be better. So job by job, or at the end of the day, 10 or 15 minutes just to make sure the van's tidy so they're ready for the next day. Some of our engineers that have got like their OCD with the vans, Luke for example, after every job he's putting everything back where it needs to be. After an installation, he's making sure that his van is back to normal so he's ready for the next day. This is what I need across all the vans. This is going in Ben's van because Ben's van's all over the place at the minute, and this is going in. Now, racking's brilliant, providing you keep on top of your van. If you don't, racking makes it 10 times worse because you'll start filling these and then there'll be shit everywhere. See, Dan's doing a job today. We do need to start being, at this time of year, more selective on the jobs. Like Dan and Warren are getting tied up on some decorative radiators now, which is not ideal. But she's a good customer of ours, isn't she, Christine?
She's a good customer, yeah. 8. I've been going 8.5, yeah.
How many rads is it?
10.
10 decorative rads, but that's taking 2 days work, which that in theory could be 2 boilers. Like you mentioned the other day, Warren, doing random jobs, especially if emergencies are coming in and you can't get to them, that's where it becomes a problem. Prioritising the breakdowns. Right, I think we're done there. I'm going to go and get these jobs boxed off and then go and help Scott with this wiring.
Yeah.
We managed to wire that one up yesterday, which were good.
Garment.
You just rung down and said...
Yes, Phil. What's that?
You just rung down and just said, give it a few minutes because they're trying to sort out drive. They can't get that drive yet.
Yeah, it's going to be
You
dangerous,
can't
that.
get off the drive at the minute.
Yeah, Dan's going up there. Have a look, see where Pike is, right at the top. Yeah, he's pretty much round there. You're just you're on back side of that.
Backside, yeah. Yeah, you get nice. There's a nice view of it when you're up there.
I can't believe I pulled pressure washer out this morning to wash the vans.
We've done it before, mate.
Yeah, I know. I'd have turned this place into an ice rink. You'd have been belly up again, Dan, on your back. Right. Cheers, pal. Right, I'll fix your radiator as well. That's fixed. And bathroom radiator's in.
Am I turning on home care away now? Because I'm getting calls.
Oh
I've
no.
got nobody.
Right, no, show me. See, like what Kat's just said then, I would turning non-home care jobs away, like that kills me as well, because these are potential new customers. So your marketing efforts, you're bringing customers in, but then needing to turn them away because you've not got that movement. And if your jobs are tied up doing stuff that's not an emergency, that's where we need to like prioritise and be as efficient as we can. What's this job, Kat?
Leaking boiler PR7. We previously done a gas safety check.
With who's your customer? Remember the name? What's she saying? The boiler's leaking?
Yeah, the boiler's leaking, so I have to turn it off so they bring it back.
Let's have a look what boiler it is. They've got a Raven Heat boiler. Absolute load of crap. So more than likely that'll end up being a new boiler. Is there somebody at the property that we know of?
I'm not sure.
You've not got that far? I'll fly over because to be honest that'll probably convert to a boiler.
Right, okay, that's fine. So I'm going to send Ryan over this morning for her, alright? Yeah, perfect. Oh, you're welcome. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.
See, there's job when I come in early, or if I don't come in early, there's jobs that in the engineer's diary that will just get booked in that I don't see. And there's one, for instance, in the afternoon here, which is Manchester. So from here, it's going to be like a 30-minute drive to have a look at some radiators. It's been put in as a breakdown, but I know of this job. In this job in particular, we've installed a new we've installed a new boiler. The radiators in a room are getting the room up to 23, 24 degrees, which is like insane. But she wants them at 27. So we would go out to that as a breakdown to then just size new radiators. It's wasted time where we've got emergencies coming in, especially if the girls are turning emergencies away. So I'm going to get this job moved, changed to a survey. Either I'll measure this for radiators and free up like 2 breakdowns this afternoon. Do you have a window cleaner?
Yeah.
Do you? How much is your window cleaner?
About 15 quid.
Is it?
Yeah. I don't have a lot of windows though.
80.
80
Yeah,
quid?
I must have missed a few weeks, but I'm sure he had a couple on. Thinking, 80 quid? The last one I saw, it said 40, and then yesterday I've got that through that says 80. Must have charged me interest. That was left on all night. So what I need you to order, please,
Yeah.
on Amazon is a timer plug. I'm going to preset the times on it, and then that gets plugged into there. We've got air conditioning set to 30 degrees. We've got all the radiators on, but our Joanne's still not warm enough, so she's got this.
Boiling.
She's got this underneath here, tucked right underneath to warm her little legs up, left on all night. Lucky she didn't burn place down. I've got another bill for Milkman. Milk and eggs, 28 quid. That's less than window cleaner. I don't like seeing stuff like this. So we've got we've gone to do an annual service on a boiler. Home care. It was signed up 12 months ago on a home care plan. And Luke, my other engineer, sent a picture of the boiler. And this is the heat exchanger, the main part of the boiler.
Yeah, alright, no problem. I'll book it in for them for you.
Okay. You can see the rippling on that.
Alright, no problem. Thanks a lot. Bye bye.
Customer's saying it's 8 years old. I wouldn't say that boiler's it's a junior, so I would have said more like 12 years old. I'm going to need to have a look at this actually, find out how old it is. But it's a home care customer, but that has been rippled for a long time. That's years of damage of the boiler running low. It's not happened. I struggle to believe that's happened in the last 12 months. So it's not been picked up on the initial inspection. That on initial inspection should be framed to the customer that you've got a rippled heat exchanger. We can replace the heat exchanger and then cover you moving forward from that date. So there'll be a cost and then it's covered, or we'll give you a price to supply and install a new boiler because this boiler's been run dry. But what's happened in our situation now, we've passed that on initial inspection, we've come back in 12 months and Luke's seen that and thought, Jesus, that's in a bad state, so I'm going to need to put an heat exchanger in that boiler now. Anyway, that's another one. I'm going to go to the breakdown that's coming, that's the water that's leaking, Raven Heat boiler, more than likely this will be a new boiler. And then I've got British Gas have been out to look at a domestic property and said that it needs a commercial boiler. The customer wants a second opinion, so I'm going to have a look at that. I've got a boiler breakdown, no other information. And then I've got some heat miser underfloor heating controls that have lost signal.
Hi guys, so me and Aaron are fitting a boiler today. It's a conversion, we'll try to get it done in today. Scott's going to come over and help us. Should be all straightforward, everything's in the loft. But we're all a bit busy today, getting stuff on. Yeah, having a good one.
We're now into the first week of December, the big push up until Christmas. Got 3 solid weeks. It's the second Monday. Quite a busy start to the week. We've got a full heating system that's been finished, 7 radiators and a boiler. Luke's doing a boiler conversion. Dan is doing a combi swap with a vertical flue. I'm jobbing about today as well as surveying. We've got our service lads, Dave and Matt. They're both a mixture between services and reactive jobs that are going to come in over the weekend. So we normally find phones are pretty quiet Saturday, Sunday, which is good. And then Monday, anything that's been held off over the weekend will be booked in today. Stuart and Connor are really busy as well this week, which is good. Connor is on the drain downs, caravan drain downs over in Lancaster, Morecambe and Stuart is actually further up north in Underscar, which is a big spa hotel we look after, and they've got roughly 20 Worcester high floors, so the big floor standing storage combis. They've got these, so we do the gas safe certificate and the service on these boilers, recheck expansion vessels, and they actually have a spare boiler full up, but they have loads of parts up there because it's so far away. If there's any breakdowns, we've got stuff to work on and repair while we're there. But he's actually going to stay up there for 4 days while he carries out all these services. So it looks like everyone's busy. The diaries are probably about 80-90%, so I know it's going to be a push. It's definitely going to be a push when emergency reactive stuff comes in and when surveys come in, because now you've just got to try and place the jobs as best you can up until Christmas, get as many installations as you can. We're pushing for that, well, to push past 300 boilers this year, so we're on track to do it. But yeah, everybody is all in at the minute.
Doing this bit of the video again because on the last one I was driving in between traffic lights and had my hands off the wheel, but it looked stupid and somebody commented. But I think it'd be good to have in the video going into next year for any fellow tradesmen or tradeswomen. It may help them out. The question was from James Taylor on what would be my advice, best advice in terms of trying to get boiler installations. But the bottom line comes down to marketing, whether it's boiler installations, bathrooms, or whatever you're trying to do. And going into next year, and some of the things that I would be looking at if I was a one-man band and cost is tight all the way up to where we are now. First of all would be the basics, and that is getting your branding straight. So you've got a difference between branding and marketing. Branding, let's say RJ Martindale in its simplest form, we're a young family business with orange vans. BHE, purple vans, B on the back, it's been going 40 years. Okay, there's more heritage within the brand. Okay, from that information that will run through the business, whether it be your website, your uniform, your vans, that's the branding. The marketing is the message we're trying to cut through to the customer to create a sale. Direct response marketing. I'm not driving around with just my name, RJ Martindale, and putting posters of RJ Martindale up all over the local area. It doesn't work, it doesn't convert. We're not big enough. You're not Coca-Cola. We're trying to get direct response, trying to convert a sale off every piece of marketing that we're doing. But first, your branding, getting the fundamentals straight. There's, God, I don't know how many, it's thousands of vans there, tradesmen out there that are in unmarked vans. If you're happy just getting by, then your unmarked van will probably take you so far. But to really start progressing, branded van with strong message into what you're trying to achieve. Like our vans, we've not just got our name on, we've got a message on there to try and convert sales. Van being number one, and then we've got uniform, making sure you look smart. You've got your uniform and you look the part. It's not difficult because most people they just have a bad name, don't they? Most people just look rubbish. So clean, tidy, smart, presentable, van, sign written, branded uniform, ready to go. Okay, and then reviews. Okay, Google My Business, Google profiles, trusted trader, Trustpilot, which trusted trader, sorry. But Trustpilot, very easy to build reviews. Customers don't need an account. You can send them a link, they'll leave you a review. That's one step. Which trusted trader is excellent. Now, it is quite expensive. They'll charge you a monthly fee, but they audit the business, and that's good. It puts everything into place. They'll have a criteria that you need to hit, but either way, that will be good for your business. You'll get the right information that you need and policies onto your website before they give you the accreditation. We joined Which Trusted Trader, built it up to about 100 reviews, and we've just let it sit there, and we still get leads off that now. Google My Business, so that's when you search plumber in Bolton. You've got the Google Map Pack that sits underneath. You've got Google Guaranteed at the top, and then you've got the Map Pack. which is great for customers. They can visually see where on the map your business is, and it's obviously it's local businesses that are on there. The likes of the nationals can't sit in that pack, so that's where you've got your advantage. But you need to build reviews. We pride ourselves on having the most reviews in the area. We're the highest rated in the area, and we've got disproportionate amount of reviews to everyone else. So while everyone's sat here, we're there, and it's just continually climbing. Now what that means is that gives the customer validation, or gives you validation that you do a good job. They can trust that when you turn up, the job will be right. Or when you go into quote against other businesses, when you see the reviews side by side, you can clearly see what businesses have got reviews or not got reviews. You know, it just gives you that little edge, which is important. All of these things, again, they're costing you nothing. And building reviews onto the profile, you want to be adding images of your work, like high quality images of yourself, your team, and constantly updating that profile. It's difficult to get Google reviews because the customer does need to have a Google account. I'm just going to park up. Yeah, the customer does need to have a Google account, but it's good if you can get in the habit of asking for reviews, and it needs to be built within the culture of the business. All our team understand that our business is built on reviews. Everyone, from the girls in the office to the lads, to the engineers on the field. Then you've got social media that doesn't cost anything. Again, we've neglected social media over the years. I've just chipped away at it. I've never given it consistent effort. We've never really had great leads from social media, from Facebook or Instagram, but I do believe if you're all in with the likes of Facebook, in the community groups, whether it's Bolton, Horwich, Charlotte, wherever you are, you've all got your own little community groups. If you add value into that group consistently every day, no doubt you'll get leads. It's just where you want to put your time and your effort. For me, we just chip away at it. You can then start talking about putting money into Facebook, Instagram, PPC, but again, we're still on level 1, which is just we're not spending any money. Cash flow's super tight. So we've got, which I'm contradicting myself here talking about sign written vans, because you might not be at that stage yet. You might be at the stage of building the profile, getting strong reviews where you can, and that might be the case of doing jobs for free. If you're right at the start, doing jobs for free just to get a review, whatever you need to do to get yourself going. So yeah, that's on the basic level. I think that covers most things. When you're going to start spending some money. Now, a lot of the stuff that for us doesn't work, it may have done in the past, but we don't do it anymore. You've got Yell, do you know Yell Business? You've got Checker Trade, whatever the other sites are. I can't remember what they're called. They've all been rubbish. Now, Checker Trade years ago, if you was putting your effort into Checker Trade and building reviews on their platform, then you could see consistent leads coming through. But the problem again, which a lot of people overlook, is when you're building reviews onto that platform, okay, you're pushing SEO, which we can talk about a bit later, you're pushing SEO onto their website, onto their platform. You want it on your own, or if at least if you're putting your reviews into Google, it's pushing yourself up the Google ranking. Okay, you're working in your favour, whereas all you're doing is investing into them. But that's a low cost way of trying to get leads through the door. And then obviously capitalising on leads as much as you can. Another thing, if I just take a step back again to level 1, something that I really neglected when I started is I wanted to be the best engineer. That's all I wanted to be. Can I be the best breakdown engineer I could? I'd suck information off everyone that I could and go out and try and fix everything, reading books, honestly. It was hideous, but it made me a great engineer. Okay, but the problem with that is you want to fix everything, and that's not always the best thing for the business or the customer. I wanted to fix everything, and it's stupid because you'll go and fix something that might break down in 6 months' time, when really on your first visit you should have been advising a new boiler or giving an option. Every time you repair a boiler, they should be planting the seed of a new boiler. Because what will happen is in that 6 months' time when the boiler breaks, they don't necessarily come back to you. They just think, oh, boiler's broke again, let's ring somebody else to come and fit you a new one that specifically fits boilers. And that's when they end up coming to us. There's many many boilers that we install now that have been fixed, whether it's the month before, 6 months before. So I think the thing with that is the lead costs you nothing, okay, the initial job. Can you capitalise and convert that breakdown into a new boiler if it's the best thing for the customer? Boilers 10, 12 years old, potentially could break down again in the next 12 months. At that point, give them a price for a boiler, or at least let them know that you fit boilers. This is another mad thing with customers. You'll go out to do a breakdown, and some customers may not even think, it's just subconscious, they don't think that you'll install a boiler. You're just the engineer that comes and fixes it. It's nuts, but that's what can happen. The leads cost you nothing because you're turning up. Fix it by all means, but give them the option to install, plant the seed. A lot of the time you'll convert more boilers. Okay, so you've got all the fundamentals boxed off and you want to start spending a bit of money, whether that's £500 a month, £1,000 a month. One thing you can look at that we've done is your traditional marketing. Leaflet distribution, local village magazines. They worked great for us a few years ago, but you constantly need to keep changing your adverts. And the adverts, you don't want to be explaining that you're a plumber that fits bathrooms, that fits boilers, that does plumbing first fix, second fix, dripping taps, listing everything that you do. You want to be specific. For us, it was boiler installation, it was home care. Now, many people in our local area are copying exactly what we do. Same adverts, carbon copies, so that will happen. But when it comes down to quoting, chances are you could be competing against them businesses. You've just got to do your best to get your message across and convert the customer. But you will get leads from that. You'll not get as many leads if you're spreading yourself thin across all the different areas. That's what we found. Now, to be fair, the magazines worked great for us a couple of years back. No, not as much. So you've got to keep changing your adverts, freshening them up. If it's leaflet distribution, what's your message they're getting over to your customer? Can you send a strong message and try to convert off the leaflet, or at least get them to your website, or at least get them to look at your reviews? That's the aim. Plant the seed. And then it all ties into one as well, because as soon as they see your marketing, if you do leaflet distribution without having any reviews, it just doesn't work. In my opinion, doesn't really work. Reviews and all the basics need to be right. That's the validation of the marketing efforts that you're putting out there. So leaflets, traditional marketing, and then you can go into, you've also got like boards, billboards, airboards, all that stuff is quite low cost. I've got an airboard, a little airboard that's outside my dad's house, just over in Bolton. It must have paid for itself 100 times over. People consistently seeing it. When I first had the airboard, it said RJ Martindale, plumbing and heating. Now it's got a strong message, which is gas bills too high, need a new boiler. We got a job last week from it that the lads are actually fitting today. They'd seen the sign outside my dad's, and she mentioned it. So anyway, I'll put the boiler on actually that we're fitting today off that board. But what she'll have seen is the board first, then they check the reviews. Again, it always comes back to the reviews. But again, that's quite low cost stuff. You can then go into the digital marketing. So when you speak to marketing agencies, most of the marketing agencies I've spoke to have all said the traditional stuff doesn't work. It's all dead. It's all PPC. That's all bollocks. PPC is where you're really going to burn some money. But that's what all the big boys are doing. That is what they're doing. All the nationals are out and out doing PPC, but you've got to have big money. Now, what we've done is Google PPC, where you're targeting for new boilers, you're building landing pages specific for boilers, you're putting money into Google. When somebody searches boiler, you're ranking right up there, but it's a different game altogether. Okay, they're not your customers, the demographic that are coming from your local magazines. These are people that need a boiler fast, and once you get that boiler, or once you get that lead, you've got to be ringing them within 5 minutes, a couple of minutes, getting on that phone, many phone calls to even get a survey or quote. Then you're getting nailed on cost, because that's they're savvy in that way in terms of going online. They might be going on the nationals, like your box.com, all that stuff, so they've already seen prices. Then you're getting nailed on finance charges. Oh god, awful. Similar with Facebook PPC. Start putting money into Facebook campaigns. Again, it's if you're doing it, if you're consistently doing it, and that's your world, and you're doing it all the time, and you've got that frame of mind, that sales frame of mind to convert them leads, then it's one way of doing it. But I just don't see the margin in the boilers. I just don't. I think it's razor thin. If you can sell your home care, your service plans off the back of it, it might ease off. But I mean, I'm buzzing this year because it is now the 20th of December, and I think we're on 291 boilers. I think I've overestimated slightly because I thought we were going to fly over 300, but it just turns out we've had a few jobs recently that have taken over. They've taken a bit too much time. But having said that, there's still time before New Year to get our 300. But of them 300, we've smashed through 200 Worcester boilers, and we've not used finance for any of them jobs at all. There's actually the odd one where I've financed myself through the business for the customer. If they're a good customer and I felt they've been struggling, I've let them pay over 3 months, if you will. So I've not been nailed on all them costs. We've just gone down. I mean, what has started happening for us is we're getting more recommendations from marketing efforts that you've done 2 and 3 years behind. That is what will happen, that compounding effect. So you don't need to be as aggressive with the marketing. I've gone off on a tangent there, but that's the PPC world. PPC, and then also there's buying leads. I have no experience in buying leads, specific boiler leads, but I can see it's the same scenario, it's the same demographic of the customers that are on your PPC campaigns. You're just getting absolutely nailed on cost. The conversion rate was like in the low percentages. It might have been 3 and 4%. That's how bad it was for us. Whereas our percentage now on boilers is about 65%, 66%. So that gives you an idea there. Now, the digital stuff that I do like will be your SEO for your website. So building a good website. I mean, ours needs a lot of work, to be fair. We're making sure the message is right through our website, so the language of the business speaks through the website. So RJ Martindale might be a young up and coming business. Again, BHE is 40 odd years old, got loads of heritage, one of the longest businesses going in this area. So the language might be slightly different. So we're really focusing on that on our SEO, and then the SEO in certain areas like BHE over in Lancaster, Morecambe, and the Lake District, we rank very well across them areas with little competition. So the SEO might be a page specific to whatever area it is. It might be a repair on a boiler, or it might be a caravan repair in Morecambe. You're building pages onto your website, and that's improving the SEO, as well as your reviews, as well as good imagery, videos, whatever you can do on your website to give the greatest, the best impression of your business. And SEO for us does well. Now, one thing we do have for the boilers is TrueQuote, which is a little API plugin. It's just a little boiler, similar to like your box.com, and you just you can run through and it'll give you an idea of cost. I would say we get a boiler pretty much every week off TrueQuote now. But that's took some time. That's took a lot of time, and that customer may have gone on the journey of seeing some magazine artwork, seen our reviews. They've gone onto the website and then they've got a quote. Now, what I used to do was ring that customer and try to convert over the phone. But now, if they're local, I just go and survey the job. And more times than not, you survey the job. You'll put them a different boiler in. You'll add, you'll upsell other products to your customer, and you'll offer service plans. That together can be really powerful. So on the digital side, certainly love the website, love the SEO, but the PPC, pay-per-click on Google, pay-per-click on Facebook, we've stayed away from. It's just so expensive. We've spent thousands a month on it, and that as well is a fraction to what the big boys are spending. So for us, level 1, no cost. You've got branding, vans, building online presence through reviews, social media, and also email, which I missed. Sending out email campaigns, getting into the the consistent effort of sending email campaigns, but you're going to need to read and watch some podcasts on how to create and send the right message through email. Level 2, you're going to start spending a bit of money. Traditional marketing, which would be leaflet distribution, local village magazines, A-boards, wherever you can get a strong message out there, and you can start small and scale. Level 3, you've got PPC campaigns, whether it be Facebook or Google, but you're getting nailed on price, nailed on margin, nailed on finance charges. Ugh, done with that one. But you've also got SEO, building strong website and SEO. And to be fair, that ties into a marketing agency that you may bring in. Okay, marketing agency will spend between $3 and $4 grand a month. They'll help building the website, email campaigns. They can help with social media, blog posts for your website. They do a lot, but you cannot just rely on them completely. They'll help with your design work, because that's a massive thing, the design and the message of your magazines, which I spoke about, your marketing agency. If you've got somebody that's good on the graphic design side, that will pay for itself. So there's like the 3 levels, and then again, specifically tagged in which area of the business you're going for, whether it's boilers, consumer units, solar panels, construction, double glazing. The market has got, your marketing's got to be specific to that one thing, laser focused, and no doubt you'll start creating sales. But you can read all the books, you can listen to this video, until you start spending your own money and improving. It's just going to take time. That's when you learn, and that's when you get better. And I would say now, 3-4 years in, we're starting seeing the fruits of the marketing that we put on a couple of years back. And going into next year, I'm actually tightening up a little bit, pull back on spend, and we're just getting some cash back into the business, which is really good. And yeah, to wrap up on this video, I hope everyone has a mega Christmas. But one bit of advice that I would give as well, going into New Year, I know you're gas engineers and you're grafting, or a lot of people are gas engineers or tradesmen, and you're grafting in this time of year. You don't want to be stopping dead completely and having 2 weeks off. You just don't want to do it from experience, especially if you've got a few lads. You want to keep ticking over, so when January comes, you're going to hit the ground running. So that might mean doing surveys in between the Christmas break, doing surveys, converting them so you're ready. We've got 5 or 6 boiler installations, quite big ones, ready to go in January. It's the 20th of December now. We might do emergencies over the next 2 weeks, okay, but when everybody comes back into New Year, I want them straight on the tools. What you don't want to find is you come back into the New Year from a dead start, then you've got to survey the jobs, then you've got to get your lads busy. You could kill your January from stopping dead in December. Little one for you. Anyway, have a good one.